Hey guys, Pitch here. In this video, I want to talk about design workflows and what are your options as a designer and what should be the basic principles that you should adhere to, especially if you're a freelancer and you have flexibility as to how to structure your design workflow. Now, I'm here on Trello, and as you may know, if you've been following me for a while, I'm a huge fan of Trello based on its simplicity. Because what Trello enables you to do is to have a very streamlined workflow, which is incredibly important, especially if you're a freelancer and you need to juggle multiple projects at the same time. So as you can see, the basic principle of Trello is that you're going to have one column with the backlog, and this is basically where they add all of their design tasks. So if they need a logo, if they need a landing page design, if they need business cards, they can simply add it here in the backlog. And the benefit of having this is multiple, and it's going to be readily understandable in just a moment. And then you have the active request column, which is something which is going to make your life so much easier. So as you can see, there's one of one, and this is by purpose. This is actually a power up, which limit the amount of cards in a board. And basically, it's something which is outlined with the client that they would only be available to have one active request at the time, and this keeps the focus on that specific project. So you can have a sample task, you can add the logo or whatever the design project is. You can keep the communication over here. Then they're going to reply, you're going to write something back, and basically everything is nightly it's it's well documented. So this card is not just a card where they can add the description and the brief in a nice way, but you also have a version history of the communication with your client on that specific design project. So this is where I believe Trello shines, because even after a request has been basically fulfilled, and they're going to move it to the approved section, and you're going to have all of the cards here. So whenever you need to go back to a project, or there has been maybe some miscommunication, or you just need to utilize that version history, it's readily available. And this is so much easier than going through emails, because imagine a situation where it occurs quite often, where a client tells you, I need this and that, and then you start getting many emails, and you start replying to many emails on all sorts of different topics, and the workflow is scattered. And just that alone makes it so much more difficult on your part to manage the project, and it's not really focusing your time and effort on where you're actually bringing the most value, which is on creating the design. So this is a conversation that I usually have with every client up front. Some clients understand it faster than others, and I can tell you, smart individuals understand the benefit of an efficient workflow. So if you're working with the right clients, they're going to be thrilled about you being organized. And this is kind of like the general picture. Whenever I used to freelance, I don't do that much anymore. But that is kind of how I structured the workflow in a very easy and efficient way. There's also some starter files which I have over here. These are going to really depend on how you structure your your design process, but basically uh, basic ideas on or instructions on how to use this board. So basically a summary of what I just described with a video overview, which I believe is very useful. I think I'm a big fan of using Loom and videos in general to keep the async communication crystal clear and well documented. And over here, you are going to basically add the design files. So over here, you're going to find the actual Figma file, Canva file, whatever design file that you're working on. In my case, also have some instructions on payments and invoices, calls that can be booked at a extra, considering my offering, and then you could have maybe like an upsell to get a lower rate, or just something to kind of like upsell them to. Maybe they want two active requests at the same time, and you can show them how that's possible. So everything is or neatly organized over here in terms of the instructions, and they're always going to have those useful links available at any given moment. And that being said, this is a structure that works especially well if you're freelancing, if you're a contractor. Some other times with clients, especially if you're going to be full time with them, they're probably going to have their own project management tool. This can be Jira, Asana, Notion, or whatnot. And I can tell you sometimes it's worth enforcing your workflow. Other times it's just going to be more convenient for you to basically stick to their structure. And I know that this is going to sound controversial. There's a lot of designers on social media where they say, oh no, they have to absolutely stick to your workflow. You have to enforce boundaries. But the reality of business is that sometimes it's just going to be more convenient for both of you to stick with that design workflow. If you see any potential flaws in them, in their workflow, meaning you can simply talk to them and figure out a way where you're empowered to create a great you're following a workflow which is efficient. But that again, it's going to depend on the specific client. And generally speaking, you wanted to basically find the path of less resistance in terms of management, because your value at the company is going to be focused on the creative output that you can come up. So you simply have to have this conversation with your client, and you can figure out both of you the best solution for you to follow and have a win-win situation for the long term. So I hope this video was helpful. If you want to learn more about these type of topics, feel free to let me know in the comment section. And if you have any specific question, just drop a comment. And if you want to learn more about UI UX design and web design in general, I have over a decade of experience, and on my channel I have over 900 free videos. So feel free to check them out, and I'll see you in the very next one.